Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. We are joined once again here live today with Randy Clark from Randy Clark and Associates. He's helping so many men and women out there with hair replacement. And by the way, the quality, the look, and yes, you can afford it. He's here to talk to us today about more about why he does what he does. And of course, the process of coming in for that consultation. So welcome to the show today, Randy. How are you?
Very good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm not sure. I'm working. You're not working today, are you?
No, I'm not working today.
And you're on your ranch. Where is that?
It's outside of Dallas, about an hour. It's called Sulphur Springs, Texas.
Beautiful. I hope you're enjoying yourself. How's the weather, by the way?
We got a storm coming through. Should hit any minute now.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I hope it goes all right. But is it warm there still? Is it kind of warm?
It's 72 today, which is nice for Texas.
Definitely is. I'm jealous. All right. Let's talk about randyclark.com. That's the website, ladies and gentlemen. And again, Randy Clark and Associates. Tell us a little bit about your overview of what you're doing for your clients.
Just taking the clients that have lost their hair, that want to look good, and we make the systems for them. We kind of figure out in the first 3 or 4 months of them coming to us how many systems they're going to need a year and how many services they're going to need a year. And it varies because some people will get 3 to 4 a year. Some will get 5 to 6 a year. And I've got some that get multiples. I mean, I've got one client that gets one every 10 days, which is, it's crazy, but that's what he wants.
He wants to look fresh and new and perfect each and every. I get it. God bless.
He does.
And you're in the process, just to confirm, this is hair restoration, correct?
Correct. We do skin and lace pieces for the top of the head. We bond, and we do some daily wear for the older clients that I've had for almost 43 years now.
Amazing. I'm sorry to interrupt. What were you going to say about that client that needs a new piece every 10 days?
He just wants that particular system is designed to last for 4 weeks, so you usually get 13 a year. He just likes the taking it off every 10 days and starting with a fresh one. And
beautiful.
For him, money's not an object whatsoever.
So mine as well. Makes you feel good. You can afford it. Why not? It's time to get your hair back and feel more self-confident. Let's talk about the process. People are coming to you. They're so vulnerable, right? To lose hair. Could you go over a little bit about what your clients, some of them are going through?
Well, most of them that I get anymore, or I get some newbies, not many, but most of them are people that have been wearing hair for a long time and just not been happy, and they found out about me. And they come in. I just picked up a client out of East Texas that he'd been wearing hair. He's 76 years old. He's been wearing hair for 40 years and didn't know about me. And he came in, and I've got him now. And like we talked in one of the shows prior, I have probably 45% of my business that either drive or fly in to see us.
Beautiful. And clearly you have a great reputation with what you're doing. And it's not just men, it's also women, right?
Correct. We do a lot of women. We do short hair, long hair. And now since the pandemic, the hair has become so expensive when you go over 6 inches. So for the women, it's been more difficult. Like for a style like yours, it would cost almost 50% more because the hair costs have gone up so much.
And we're talking, this is all natural hair, or is it synthetic?
It's all human hair.
Beautiful. And what about those that like the highlighted look or the gray and the salt pepper look? That's all possible. It's customizable, right?
We do all that. We do highlights for men and women. We do the grays like mine, where it's grayer on the bottom, a little darker on top. That's very easy. You just got to know your percentages.
Perfect. And you mentioned it's completely natural, it's undetectable. And again, this is a non-surgical solution out there and obviously way less invasive. And let me ask, how it works. You're in the Dallas area. Where's the office located?
It's in a little town called Addison, Texas. It's just north of downtown, about 10 miles. I'm actually in Addison, but I use the Dallas address, which I have a choice for. It's a good little area. I've been there for 25 years now.
Wow. And what about, we talked, was it last week or it was a few weeks ago? I forgot, Randy, when we first originally spoke. You really is obviously your testimonials, your reviews of everyone online say amazing things about you. For you to be in this business so long says a lot. And just for those who haven't learned your background, could you share how you got into this business? I know you were a youngin' back then when you started.
Well, I got out of high school and I needed a job, and I had seen a friend of mine who'd been cutting hair and was at their salon, and I thought, I didn't think about making as much money as just being happy. I wanted a job that I was happy doing, and never dreamed that it would grow to this. But I've had it since I was 23, and I'm 66 now, and it's been a really fun, nice ride.
Amazing. And have you seen more clients starting to come in over the years? Like, are people more now accepting of this? Because at first, like I think I mentioned to you last time, about 20-something, maybe longer than that, years ago, my dad went to one of these places, and he was miserable. He was horrible. He hated it, and it would never stay on. It didn't look right, And I'm sure, I know the technology obviously has changed, right? Could you just share about the process and the guarantee that you have, and what makes you all, so unique?
Well, the technology has not changed drastically in the last 20 years. They've added a few little things as far as the thinner skin bases. But for someone like your father that's doing daily wear, it's going to require somebody who really cares about what they do to make him what he needs. Because as we get older, a lot of people want to have more hair than they should actually have. Mm-hmm. And so what I try to lean on when I have an elderly client is to have a lot of recession and try to get his natural color in there to make it look as natural as possible.
Got it. And, what is the process like? They come in for the visit. How many visits does it take to get it right? And then how long of a process is it? Because then you have to also order it. I'm sure you have people that customize, they have to color it or cut it, right?
No, when we order it, we take a mold of the head. I have a mold machine. We take samples. We pick the gray percentages. We send this off to the factory. 3 to 4 months, we get it back. The client comes in and we cut it and install it. If it's done right, you're hitting 100 points just out of the bag, the first one, if you do it right. A lot of people get into this industry. They really don't learn everything they need to know about this industry. But with us, the clients, we very seldom have anyone that's unhappy. And if someone's unhappy, I would give their money back to them.
Yeah. Well, that says a lot about you. Go ahead.
And in 43 years, I've only had 2 clients that quit, and it's just because they just didn't want to deal with it any longer. They were getting elderly, and they just wanted to go natural, which is fine. Mm-hmm. And it's not for everyone.
Got it. Because there are other techniques out there that are more invasive, like surgery, right? And you have your ups and downs and pros and cons of everything we do in life in general. So let me ask you, this is, obviously you're less at a risk here, obviously, right? We're not doing anything that's permanent, which is good. It's detachable. And let me also ask about the care process. Now, is this something, are they able to wash their hair every day, go swimming every day? Is it like your own hair?
Yes, on the bonded clients, they sleep, they swim, they work out, they do everything with it on their head. They shower with it, they clean it just like someone with their natural hair. Yeah. The only thing they do different is when they're in the shower, they're brushing a little bit more, because if you're not careful, it can tangle. So that's the only. Well, if women that wear hair extensions, same thing. They have to be very careful when they're shampooing them.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yep. And what about the process of hair drying? You able to use a hair dryer as well?
Oh yeah, it's a normal head of hair.
Okay, but it doesn't affect the I don't know what you call the bonding, the solution that you use.
No, not at all.
Wow. And
when a client gets down to the some clients need to be in every 2 weeks, some every 3 weeks, some every 4. That just depends on their scalp condition, whether it's dry or oily. Once we determine that, as long as they don't go over their period of time, they won't have any problem at all.
Amazing. And then they can come back to you every how often? Do you suggest they come back for the full, what do we call it? Is it a full takeoff and wash? What is the process?
Well, for the bonding, they come in every 2 to 4 weeks. Okay. And so we decide that early on. And then for the daily wear, we'll get back to that one too, that they take theirs off at night. So they come in whenever they feel like they need a haircut. And most people need a haircut in 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, very true. Interesting. And do you want to share some of the client stories with us? Some of the men or women that you've been working with for years and what they say about working with you compared to, someone else in the business?
Well, the gentleman that was in a few weeks ago from East Texas, he made a comment that I wish I had found you years ago, because he's not been happy with, and he'd been to several different places, traveled all over the country trying to find someone. So, and actually he was going to a salon that's not too far from me.
And, for someone like a female, let me ask, we talked a lot about men in the process. How does that differ for females? Because we're talking there's more hair, more volume, right? In a sense, a lot of times, if not, you have a short haircut. But tell me a little more about the female hair process compared to the male. Is there any difference?
There's not much difference other than you're dealing with maybe some highlights or some longer links. You still deal with the females the same way as you do the male. They're looking for the right look.
Yeah. And, for someone, besides people who just have naturally thinning hair, you're also working with patients who have medical, diseases, right? And therefore they lose their hair. Yes.
There's people that have, I've had one particular client that lost her hair, got caught in a printing press.
Oh my goodness. How tragic.
Yeah. It was. And then I have a client that's been with me since he was probably 6 years old. He had a mole when he was born. And when they removed the mole, it took all the hair off the side of his head. So.
Oh my goodness. Permanently. Yeah. The whole.
Gone. Permanently.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So. And oh my goodness. So you do offer free, no obligation consultations. Could you share the ways that we can reach out to you?
Email or email or call the office. And the office number is on the website, naturally. Or you can make an appointment through the website. It'll come in an email, and then we'll call you back.
All right. And the number is 972-239-0291?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. randyclark.com. All right. So what else about you, your business, and the clients do you want to share for us today?
Just that we care very much how our clients leave and how they feel.
And I love hearing those testimonials. And on the website, again, there's photos and the video gallery you could peek at to see. And that is, honestly, that gives you a great, I guess, what's the word? It gives you overall, there's a lot of great client testimonials even talking about you. You're on there. Was it Good Morning Texas? I think it was. Yes. Right?
That was on there several times, yes.
Showing people how it works and all. And is there anything that can go wrong? What would you say the downside to something like this is, right? Because there's always good, but there's could there be some downside to it? If people ever have an allergic reaction, anything like that, or could you change a different type of bonding?
The only downside to me would be someone that's not doing it 100% for themselves. If you're doing it because your girlfriend wants you to do it or your wife wants you to do it, and you really aren't, you may not be happy with it. This is something that you do just to make yourself happy. And, as you know, with extensions, it's a lifestyle change in some respects because you're worried about how it looks. You're worried about how it feels. So those things are really important. But, mostly do it because you want to do it for yourself.
Beautiful. And even, with females and males, you can always style it the way you want. You can use a curling iron. You can use heating tools, hairspray, gel, everything, right?
Flatteners, everything you want.
Amazing. And what about for the ladies, putting your hair back as well? Are you still able to do all that with clips and the scrunchies and all that?
Absolutely.
Now, will the piece itself damage your natural hair?
Well, our clients don't have any hair where we put the systems down. They've lost all their hair. Mm-hmm. So and what little hair they got left, it's gonna go over time anyway, whether they wear a piece or not.
Got it. And, what about making sure they achieve the right look? Do you have like a book for them to look at with styles, or most of them come in kind of knowing what they want?
I always kind of tell people, let's look at your styles that you wore that you were happy with. Your own, because we can duplicate anything. So I try to stay with things that they've always had when they had hair, which would, that give them more comforting feeling. You know what I'm saying? Now, some will come in and want to change it up completely different. It's not a problem. We can do it.
Got it. And when they come in, when they sign up to work with you, I'm assuming, you tell me, is it a package deal for like, the piece and then the follow-ups, or the service appointments separate? Do you offer any type of, holiday discounts or anything coming up that we should mention?
On the daily, where you're going to buy a system every 6 to 15 months, depending on the client. On the bonded systems, we usually don't try to price them a yearly program until we see how much service they're going to use and how many systems they're going to use. So I'll typically just sell them like a 3-month program with one system and service. Mm-hmm. And then in the first 6 to 8 weeks, we can see how often they want one and how much service they're going to need. Then we can offer them the yearly contract.
Got it. And is there any other systems out there? I mean, like I know for women, right, we have the option, if we have hair, the hair extensions, which are all different types, right? The tape-in, you have the beaded, you have the weft, you have all that. But for men in particular, they can't get a hair extension. I mean, maybe they can if they have a lot of hair, right? Because you could tape that in, right? I mean, there's really, nothing else, do you recommend to these clients of yours, men and female, to maybe still be using like a Rogaine type substance or a minoxidil, in pill to try to help with hair growth, or are we beyond that?
Well, the clients I see are beyond that. They've lost too much hair. And those things that you mentioned are going to give you back about 10, maybe 50% of your hair, provided you use them constantly. So these people have already lost too much hair.
Got it. And then I wouldn't know how it would work, right? Because if you put it on top of the hair piece, would it absorb it? I mean, because it's got to breathe, right? So technically it's going down to your scalp, no?
On the skin pieces, they don't breathe. Okay. On the lace pieces, which I sell predominantly most, they breathe.
What's the difference with the lace and could you give me
the skin piece is going to give you that perfect hairline. Okay.
Okay. Like especially in the front, you mean?
Yes, but that's for people who want to comb their hair straight back. But it's not as stylable as the lace piece. The lace piece has a more natural flow to it, the way the hair is tied to it. Where the skin piece is looped, vented in most cases. And so you've got to have a kind of a messy style or a real short style to make that one really look well. All
right. And as far as, is there any, thing that has changed technology-wise over the years? You said it's kind of been steady, right? And,
it's been steady for the last 25 years.
Got it. But different solutions, different like dissolvents, solvents, bonding materials, has it been, has that increased and has gotten better over the years?
They're always improving on the glues and on the solvents. They're always making them a little better.
And how long typically does it come in? Say typical male, normal short male haircut, does it come in when you have to come in for the service and the haircut appointment technically? How long does that usually last?
An hour to hour and 15 minutes.
Not bad, not bad. Do you do like home visits as well, or is it all in the office?
Well, I just recently went to the funeral home to put a hair on one of my clients passed away. And if someone's really sick in the hospital, I'll go take care of them.
Beautiful. I can empathize with that. When my mom passed away of lung cancer 7 years ago, I was responsible for making her look pretty. So I went in there, I put her wig on, and I did her makeup and all that stuff, because you want that person to have that dignity and that, know how they would want to look in the end like that, especially having people coming in. That's beautiful. That's great. See, and I know you have a lot of lifelong clients, obviously, that you are dedicated to working with. And you even mentioned last time you have clients all over that fly in, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Oh, my goodness. Well, if there's anything that you would change about the work you're doing, what would it be?
Nothing.
How many people work underneath you? Like how many, is there a big team? Is it a small team? Is it a dedicated team? Is it a family business?
It's not a family business. I have 4 stylists. I have an office manager, a receptionist, and an accountant off premises.
Amazing. Now, do they also dabble in it too? Like they try out the stuff?
No, I've got a young lady I just hired for receptionist, which I'm gonna help her out with some wigs.
See? Perfect.
Use her for promotional.
Well, yeah, absolutely. To walk in, to talk to someone who's wearing it, who knows it, that's the best part of it. Yeah, because you need to, learn from someone and read their or see their testimonial in person to know that, hey, it looks real, it feels natural, it feels like this, it does that, so that's always exciting. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
And, what else do you do in your off time? Let me ask about personal life. You're out there today on the ranch. What's happening on the ranch today? Tell me about your passions and your hobbies in the meantime, if you don't mind.
No, I love it out here. I like the horses. I like just getting away. Right now it's raining like you wouldn't believe here. I mean, it is coming down.
I don't hear anything. Oh my goodness.
It's pretty well insulated. But other than that, I have people that I visit every week. We go out to eat. I have a lot of friends I have dinner with when I'm in Dallas. And then on the weekends here, I've got friends here as well.
Oh, well, life is so beautiful. We went through the period of the pandemic. Did that affect your business for a while, or are people still dedicated to coming in because they still want to look good, even if they're staying indoors?
Well, I stayed open and worked through it.
Wow, that is awesome, right? So business is always good. And, would you say that, in this line of business, could you predict the next, 10 years or so? Do you think there will be new upgrades, new techniques, or do you think it's going to remain steady and the clientele where it is?
It's been like this for so long. I think it'll stay steady. I've been very fortunate that people get into this industry. It's much harder. Mm-hmm. You almost have to, buy an existing business to get into it.
Got it.
Well,
have you lost any clientele? Do you think most to like going the other route, the more extreme, like surgical route? Have you seen that?
No, I've not lost hardly any business over the last, 43 years. I mean, I stay steady and grow a little bit each year.
Yeah, because that's a little more invasive, I would say. I've heard some horror stories, and I've seen some too. Well,
the problem with hair transplants is that, to me, they shouldn't even be done till the person's at least in their late 40s, early 50s, because by that time they reach the full pattern of baldness they're going to have.
Okay.
And the only donor area is underneath the occipital bone in the back, so it limits how much hair you can actually transplant.
That's right. Don't they take? They take the hair follicles from back there, and they put them in there. Oh my gosh! And I don't
Perfect example. President Biden.
Okay.
If you look at his hair, how it's real thin and kind of straggly in the back, it's where they've taken all the donor hair out. Now, if you see a picture of him from the backside, you'll see he still has a pretty large bald spot on his head. So all they did is just put hair on the frontal part.
So wait, when they're removing the back hair, you're telling me then it's permanently removed? There's no it
does not grow back. No.
Oh, so they're always going to have extra baldness in that spot unless they have a thick hairline above that, which most people probably don't.
But like in this case, look at the back of his head, and you'll see how his hair in the back is so thin, and then he's got the huge bald spot still. But from the frontal, he looks normal.
Hey, what about President Trump? What do you think about him? Does he is that a wig? Is that real? What is that?
I think it's probably. I'm surmising. I think that he has a partial transplant with a pretty large comb over.
Got it. Okay. And when you say comb over, that's part of the transplant where it was, or is that like a fake?
No,
piece?
It's where you let the whatever side you're parting from grow longer to go over and cover.
I've always wondered about him. Yeah, I wasn't sure because I know his hair.
You'll notice when he's in the wind, you'll see that hair flopping up.
Yeah, so. Exactly. And so it's made a lot of like internet buzz and memes on the internet about his hair and his tan. But that's a whole nother subject.
Well, his tan, I think his tan's a bottle. So.
I think so too. All right. So I guess we got to commend him on that, not staying in the sun too much, right? Skin cancer versus, tan in the can. No, not so bad. To each his own, right? Whatever makes you feel good and look good. Exactly. It's beauty is in the eye of the beholder, as they say. And you mentioned you had a 6-year-old patient. Someone you've been working with since the age of 6. Do you find, is there a lot of younger children going through chemotherapy who have permanent hair loss? Have you ever met anything like that?
I've seen it, but if someone brought me a child that's in chemotherapy, the last thing I'd want to do is put a wig on them because they're gonna get through the chemo, their hair's going to grow back, and it's not as detrimental for children. And I think it's just a lot to put a child through. So me personally, I would be against that.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Well, for someone who has thinning hair, right? What about an older woman that has thinning hair, very straggly up here, right? Does that mean she could still get help with? Would you have to shave that? But then it still grows back. So how do you put a piece on that? Or you have to be completely bald? I'm a little confused. For the females with the very thin.
If you have a woman with female pattern baldness and she says she's lost 80% of her hair on top, then you have to shave that and bond to it.
Got it. It's one or the other because you can't. And then that, I guess, normal, your hair. So she's going to have that growing in every month. And that's why she would come back for every 4 weeks and you would remove it, shave it again, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. Clean her scalp, clean the piece, rebond it, and off she goes again.
All right. Good to know. Well, we are grateful that you're here again and want everyone to know how they can reach out to you. And obviously you offer initial consultation. So how can we do so, Randy?
Thank you. Good talking to you.
You too. Go ahead.
I missed that part because the storm came through.
Don't leave me yet. RandyClark.com. I know that much. Do you want us?
The office number is 972-239-0291.
Perfect. And don't forget, there's hair replacement for a woman, for men, Dallas Hair Restoration. If you know someone suffering from hair loss, you mentioned that. I know in the past show, statistically, right, 4 out of 10 men and 1 in every 10 women will experience significant hair loss. And, there is something you could do. Reach out to our friend here, Randy, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Good luck with that storm getting through, okay?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I liked things to always be the same. Anything new or different would scare and upset me. I was very sensitive to lights and sounds. It was almost like I had bigger eyes and ears than everyone else. So I built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. I didn't like looking people in the eye. It made me feel uncomfortable. I'd throw big tantrums over little things like when my socks didn't match. Sometimes I'd do the same things over and over. Until one day, I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
You can see signs of autism in children as young as 18 months. Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.